Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Public Relations Masterclass training today on Google Profiles for Clubs. Let me start sharing my screen. And I can see your faces. Perfect. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I am Veena Vijayaraj Kadidal, the Public Relations Manager for District 39. I was a public relations manager last year as well. I had started this public relations masterclass session, especially because we had a lot of clubs that were a little confused in terms of what exactly to do as part of trying to bring more members in to do public relations. So what I figured was I was learning a lot from my peers at the region and from international. So I wanted to bring what I learned from them into the real world. That way, the clubs and our officers are not lost when trying to set things up. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me anytime you want to. I love using the chat because that helps me keep track of things, but I will also post those as potentially frequently asked questions. And if you have not been receiving any of our newsletters, please make sure to look for denise.alder@district39.org in your spam folder. I will post a lot of these public relations masterclass slides and links to videos in the newsletters that come out to all the officers and members. Make sure you let your club officers know as well, because it's not just for the officers, it's for all members. The newsletter goes out to all members. If it goes out to officers, we tell them it's for officers only. This class is not just for public relations officers, it's also for any of your members. If you say, for example, want to create a Google profile business for your business, it's the exact same option. What you learn in Toastmasters, you go and do in the real world. So if you have, for example, a quilting club and you want to have people come to your quilting club, that's exactly what you would do. If you have a restaurant, you do the same thing. It's all about profiles. With that, why do we care about Google business pages? If you notice this, about 86.95% of people search on Google. This is just the US search engine market. About 7.13% search on Bing, and the rest of them, it just goes down exponentially. It's not even there. In 2022, worldwide, 92% of the people searched on Google, which means with the world of Zoom, you can have members from any part of the world. It doesn't have to be your local folks. And again, what is a Google profile page and why do we care? Any thoughts? No clue? That's exactly why I'm here. I'm so glad we are talking today. Okay, I am going to pull up my browser. And let's say I am looking for, I'm going to go to Google. What's your favorite food? Anybody?
Tacos.
Tacos. Okay. Tacos. If I look for tacos, what shows up here? A whole bunch of restaurants. I see a map, I see photos, and I see links. Right? So if I go to Taqueria, Tijuana Taqueria, that's all the way in Placerville. I live in El Dorado Hills. Oops, a whole bunch of people in the El Dorado Hills area just lost my business. If I search for tacos near me, it's going to ask me, see, it still pulls up Placerville. I do have a few that if I move this way, it'll bring up. Oh yeah, see, nobody, not one taco place here. How sad is that, that I don't get to go to tacos right down the street from where I live? If I look for Thai food near me, I get a whole bunch of things again, almost nothing in well, Thai Paradise shows up all the way in the end, even though I'm the closest to Thai Paradise. Let's now look for things like public speaking in Sacramento. I did a search for public speaking Sacramento, and I got a whole bunch of things, but absolutely no map. There is no business that talks about public speaking. If I search for public speaking classes in Sacramento, I get a few. Dale Carnegie Training of Sacramento, Sacramento Downtowners, wait, Toastmasters, and Cal Speakers Toastmasters. However, you notice something here that you didn't find, you found in Thai food here that you did not find here. There is absolutely no rating except for Dale Carnegie Center of Training of Sacramento. Sacramento Downtowners and the Cal Speakers Toastmasters do not have any ratings. Okay. Hours. This is something that's important, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. This map is important, and I'll show you a little bit in terms of as I go through, I'll go back and forth between my PowerPoint presentation and the website. I think that will help you figure out what you need to see. You are seeing my map, aren't you? Okay, perfect. So we went all the way from Thai food near me to public speaking basic Sacramento, public speaking classes Sacramento. And now all I'm going to do is search for public speaking in Portland, where I know they have set up a bunch of public speaking. The Toastmasters there have a bunch of trainings. So they have a few set up here, 5 stars. Even those 2 people that set up the rating, they still have ratings. And we'll talk about how you can get ratings for your members, for your clubs, excuse me. Now that I've told you what Google Maps is, or what Google Profile is, any questions so far in terms of why you think it's important? It's easy. People are looking for public speaking. They might be looking for training. They might be looking for team collaboration. What else?
So Veena, I have a question.
Yes, Pamela.
Is there a cost to setting up the Google?
I am so glad you asked. That's one of my favorite questions. And no, there is no cost, but that's one of my next slides. I'm glad you're thinking ahead. So what you need to do to create a profile page is go to google.com. If you set up your club with a Google or a Gmail account, that is the best way to do everything for you, because as long as it's a club account and not your personal account, it's manageable by anybody who's the next VP of PR. That way you're not stuck to it being the person that manages the whole thing. But also once you set it up, you start having more people showing up at your doors. It is free once you set it up. I'll show you a link that we need to have to set it up. It's pretty straightforward. And then you can also set it up for hybrid meetings. Say, for example, you have people coming in person and you have Zoom meetings. I've set one up for my club, Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters. It has not been verified yet. I'll walk you through the process of exactly what you need to do to make it work. I have some keywords that I have used, and I'm going to check and see once it has been verified. I'm going to check and see with statistics, how many people are showing up, how often it shows up. And I'm going to see if the trend is where we get more guests coming up to our meetings because of the fact that we have set up a profile page.
And excuse me.
Go ahead.
It's a profile for business. Google,
yes.
Google. Okay.
Yes. It's a profile for business. So, how many people can find your club on Google? Don't know? That's a great point. When we don't know, we don't know. Do you have a club website? Do you have Facebook? Do you have LinkedIn?
No.
As long as you have an online presence, make sure you copy all those links that you have. I like to start off by having them all in my Word document. That way, when I'm setting up my Google profile, I'm not trying to figure out what I need to add there. And it's a great way to have the build up without having to really sit around waiting to get things done. So if people were to search for you for Toastmasters online, what would they search for? Why do people come to your club? Go ahead, Ella.
Because they want to learn to be more articulate and to learn to be more, to speak to the public in an intelligent way.
Perfect. I love it. What else? But do they know that's what they're coming for? What are they looking for?
Someone looking for leadership roles or leadership skills as well.
Perfect. What else?
Maybe they're looking for connecting with the community for professional development.
Ooh, I like that. What else?
They're looking for support.
Support. Ooh, I like the support part. What else? Go ahead.
Constructive feedback on how they are speaking, body language.
Love it. So there are two different things. One is category and one is service. So when you look at category, what kind of category is Toastmasters? People don't look for 503 nonprofit organization. That's not why they come to Toastmasters, correct? They come to help for self-development. They come because they want to be better speakers. They come to be better leaders. They might have a wedding that they need to give a speech at, or they might have a eulogy that they're preparing for, or whatever it is. So that's the reason they come to Toastmasters. And these are some of the services we can help them with. Some of them might be ready for an interview and they're trying to get ready for the interview. So that's another service we provide. So think about what it is that you can add as part of the categories and what you can add as part of services. I do have a cheat sheet that I put together. I'll add that as part of my PowerPoint presentation, so it'll be in the notes. But those might be some things that you can add to help your club get better reviews. So the map pack is what I showed you. We have the map, we have the ratings, and we have content. And people always send in information about people actually do once you optimize your content, and I'll tell you what it means to optimize content in a little bit. Once you optimize your content, people will show up, your ratings will go higher, and it's all about what you put on your page. Because again, think about it. Google is my best friend. No matter where I go, it's become a verb. Did you Google it? That's the first question people ask. So if you can put something in there which is search engine optimized, you will definitely have results. As long as your content is completely filled and you have the information out there, people will show up. Okay, now let's talk about how we set it up. The way we first set it up is you go to google.com/business, and I will post everything online so you will have access to it. I will send you a slideshow when we're done with this. So what you need to do is once you have your Gmail address, I personally like using my Gmail address. I think you could use pretty much anything, but because it's all part of the Google services, I only use Gmail. Once you set it up, you create a business name. I believe there's a 40-character limit. And the important thing about this is your name needs to be the same no matter where you have it. Say, for example, Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters Club is also known as Volt. What do you think I need to put in here? Do I call it Volt or do I call it Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters? Go ahead, Ella.
I would spell it out, Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters.
Why?
Because it's more explanatory. If you
Okay.
just put Volt, people don't, I don't know, I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
But again, what is it that I have on my LinkedIn page, on my Facebook page, on my Twitter page, and my website?
So you have to have both.
Google is looking across different platforms. They need to be consistent because consistency means trust.
Put the Volt in parentheses after Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters.
Yes, that's a good point.
Okay. In
And
parentheses.
it's a lot. I tried quite a few things. So as I put in Voices of Lincoln, Toastmasters was pretty long. What I really wanted to put in was public speaking in terms of just the link. Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters Public Speaking Club. That was way too long. because the minute you put public speaking, that automatically bumps it up in search based on the fact that people are searching for public speaking clubs. So just keep that in mind. And it's okay for if your club name is really short. If it says Folsom Intellects, Public Speaking Club, doesn't matter. You can just put that in there. I think that might be a good one for you to put along with Toastmasters, because again, the branding helps. But the most important thing is I had to go back to Facebook, change our name because it said Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters President Distinguished, which is completely different from the one that was on our website and everywhere else. So what I did was I put the name of the club in here. You have options if it's online retail, local store, or service or business. What I did was I put local store. No, I think I forget now. I took so many screenshots. I'll make sure I put the right one and show it to you. And your business, the reason I put local store was because we don't visit our customers. So it was not a service business. That's why. And then as part of the business category, this is important because when you, essentially Toastmasters is a class, right? Even though it's a club and in general means where people have fun in parties or whatever it is. It's networking. Clubbing is different from club. People in general, and the general public don't think of Toastmasters Club as a place where you learn to do something different. So when you put the word training or classes, that changes what Toastmasters meetings are about, and you'll have more people showing up, or the searches will actually pull up your information more than what it was. So in my case, I put training center. And then as part of the business category, I have a whole bunch more. One is training center, club, learning center, educational school, nonprofit organization. So you can have a whole bunch of things past that. You can have subcategories. And then you have your business address, put that in here where you meet. If you are an online club and meet in person, put your business address where you meet there. One thing I did notice was we had someone's home address on there. Again, I don't know if I want to put my home address there as the place. Just because I'm the president, I don't want my home address out there. So you could put a PO box if you want to, but generally speaking, for Zoom clubs, I think that's the concern. And make sure you fill out your phone number because there needs to be some place people can get a hold of you. Google phone is an easy way for you to keep your personal phone out of the way. You don't have to have your personal phone number out there listed as a club member. But if you don't mind your club, if you don't mind your phone number being associated with your club and you're the person that answers on a regular basis, then go ahead and use your phone number. It's not a problem. Always make sure you have a link to your website because, again, it shows credibility. And once this basic thing has been set up, you have to verify it for it to show up on Google. And the verification process is a little different than most places because I know in the past, my verification has always happened via phone or by email. In this case, for whatever reason, it actually went to the business, and I'll show you what it looked like. Google sends a postcard to your business address. So I had to let Dory, our club president, know because that's where we meet at Lions in Roseville. So I sent her a message saying, hey, Dory, you're going to get a postcard from Google with a verification number. Once she gets the verification number, she has access to our Gmail account. She can log in, put that verification number in there or send it to me and I can take care of it for her. And it will take about 5 days to get to you. Once you put it in there, it should show up almost immediately. Once you get that information verified, then you can go in and update your link to verify your appointments. Say, for example, if you have people who want to come to your meetings, timings matter. How do we as Toastmasters that meet once a week or once every 2 weeks, or like in Voices of Lincoln, we meet the 2nd and the 4th Thursdays of every month. How do we manage our timing on Google? I'll show you that in a second. The next thing you want to do is put your business on the map. And I showed you how to put that on the map, where even though we had two of the Sacramento clubs on Google Business on the profile, they did not show up on the map. The minute you show up on the map, your ratings go up a little higher. This is the verification. I put the contact name and that's our address. It'll go there. And that's all that happens. It just says postcard by mail. Probably because I did not have my phone number set up already. That's why it went by email, by mail rather, and says postcard, it's on its way. And now we can optimize Google profile page for Toastmasters. Let me actually walk you through the process on my screen. When I go to, I'm signed into Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters right here. And when I sign in, I just search for my business. The minute I type in my business, the Google profile business shows up here. Also, it says not publicly visible. Can you see this, or is it too tiny?
No, I can see it.
Right there. It says not publicly visible. So me, as the admin, I'm able to see it because I'm logged into Voices of Lincoln Toastmasters. However, you cannot see it. If you search for Google on your business, it won't show up. So I click on View Profile, and right there, it says your business is still not visible to customers. Your verification code should arrive by mail in 5 days. Enter the code to get your business on Google. Once Dory gets it, just enter the code and she should be good to go. Here, click on Edit Profile because I already created it. And this is important. So here is my Voices of Lincoln. That's the business name that I showed you the first time. The category, I called it Training Center, Club, Social Club, Adult Education School, Nonprofit Organization. The nonprofit comes in late because to me, people are not really searching to do anything with Toastmasters as a nonprofit organization. And the description, I pulled part of it from our website. I typed something up that was already there. And the rest of them, what I did was I put in all the paths that Toastmasters has. So all 11 paths show up here. People are searching for any one of those, team collaboration, event planning, or whatever it is. Part of that helps people, again, your ranking go up a little higher compared to the rest of them. Opening date. The opening date is how long your club has been in business. The charter date of your club would be the date I put in there. If you don't know when your club was chartered, you can go to dashboards.toastmastersclubs.org, toastmasters.org, and type in your club number. It will give you your charter date, or you can go to Club Central and you should be able to find it from there. I can come in here and add the phone number. I did not have it handy, so I did not put it in there. Like I said, if you have all your information ahead of time, your Google profile will be full and complete. That way, when you'll actually get the information you need. That is our website address. That way people can go to the website directly. If they need contact information or any more details, it's already there. One of the other things I was thinking I should put in there is the cost of membership. When you think about it, someone said, Toastmasters paths are like mini MBAs. Think about that for a second. They're like mini MBAs where you can complete the first 3 paths. And when you're done with the level 4 and 5, they're essentially the same as what you learn from level 1, 2, and 3. You put together and create your 4 and 5, and that's your project. And that's what you would have to do for your MBA, whether it is creating your business plan or creating your own business, whatever it is, that is essentially what a project does for you with a path-based. And the location and area, say, for example, sometimes Google Maps don't really show you the right location. You are able to take this and move things to the right location. That way it will people can find your information easily. Because I remember trying to get my vaccine, and I went around circles in the place because I could not find the place. Had they put the right pin on the right spot, I would have been able to go find it easily. Also, Another important information is, what is your service area? Say, for example, if the Thai food had put in El Dorado Hills or El Dorado County, I probably would have found the El Dorado Hills one closest to me. In this case, because we meet in Roseville, Rockland, we have Sacramento County, Plaza County, and Northern California. We meet online. So I don't care where you are. I want to make sure you come because we are on Zoom. Here are the business hours. Because we meet second and fourth Thursdays of the month, I have Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30. But this would presume that you are meeting every single Thursday between 6:30 and 7:30. However, we only meet twice a month. So I had to go in, and it automatically adds the holiday hours for you. So you can add extra holiday hours if you want to. But what I also did was I had to go click on online service hours. I had to add which are the dates we are not available. So for example, let me see. February 2nd was one of the dates we are closed because that happens to be the first Thursday. Same thing with February 16th, this is the third Thursday. So I put all these dates that we are closed. There's nothing more frustrating than having people show up at our meetings when we don't meet. For example, next week we are not meeting because we have a get-together outside of our regular meeting space because it's a celebration for Thanksgiving. So what do? We can just say closed here, but if you want to put a note on there, that's fine. But this is one way to keep the members coming back in there. We have half hour. Any questions so far? So I feel like I've been talking a lot. Okay. Feel free to post notes in the chat, your thoughts in the chat. I'd love to get more. I love saving the chats because I get a lot of information from there. And online services. Say, for example, we are meeting on Zoom. One of the most important thing is put the time that we are meeting. So if you say, for example, if you mention that we meet offsite and onsite, that will help put this information in here. So the online services, again, Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30, and you would still go ahead and say we don't meet on these opposite days. If you meet at dinner or whatever it is, if you want to add more hours where you have all that information is in here. More from the business would mean if you have to wear a mask, if that's one of your requirements, you can put that in there. I'm going to skip the rest of them. Appointment required. I cannot make changes to this today. However, if you have a website that sends you a contact information, I would put the contact us form on here as part of the planning because people can get a hold of you and you can get more information to them through that email. It's a great way. It's not just them showing up or not showing up, but there is a contact information and you follow through. It's the same as what Toastmasters sends us with our club leads. Essentially the same thing, except people are sending it themselves. The service options is where you say if it is offers online class versus on-site services available. When you put these, the hybrid meetings show up. Okay, with that, let me go back to.
Quick question.
Yes.
As a general rule of thumb, does your Toastmasters group in Lincoln, do they post the Zoom link openly, or do you require folks to kind of channel through the website to pre-register so that way they're at least kind of giving their contact information, just kind of, or make sure that they get their contact information first so that way they don't just pop up?
Oh, that's a great question. One of the things I do is we have people register for our meetings. I always post QR codes, not the passwords, because once you pre-register, we have your email. And if you are a bad actor, we can kick you out anytime. We can ban you. It's not a problem. So we haven't had any problems thus far by posting our QR code. And I do post the links. I have no problem with it. And I'll show you in a second. If you look here on our photos, I posted a bunch of pictures. This is one of our photos, which has the QR code, and it has information on how to get there. It also has our email address. So people can send us an email. That way we can keep in touch with them. Because if you don't have a registration link, you don't know who came in, there's no follow through. You just lost a contact which you worked hard to get. And one of the nice things about having pictures in here, just like I had with my Thai food, I'm like, oh, I really feel like this Thai food, or wait a minute, I really feel like this. That's exactly what we're trying to get, because when we have more information in, where was I? Voices of Lincoln. So if I go in here and say, okay, one of our members won what to expect, what's in it for me, how do I, just more information about the meetings, make it more friendly. And this is some of our members right there. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve beauty. If you have any favorite quote in there, you can put that information in there. And one of the things I like to say is let me see. So if you speak in public, you are a public speaker. And that is the truth, whether you speak at your family functions or wherever it is. You are a public speaker. Louise, you had a question?
Yes, on the part where you were putting in the time that you were meeting,
Yes.
do you recommend putting the time zone in that?
Oh, I don't know if we can. Let me take a look and see. If I go to info, I think based on, not now. I think because of the fact that you have the location, it automatically presumes it's that time. But you know what? Eket Edit is an international club. I wonder how they would do it. That's a really good question. If you wouldn't mind sending me a note or posting it in the chat, I will do some research on that and get back to you.
I did.
Oh,
Louise
perfect. Thank
did
you.
post her question in the chat, and there's also another one from Chris. She's asking, how do I know if our club has a Google profile page?
What you can do is search for your club online. And what is your club name?
It's Sierra Sunrise Toastmasters.
One way to easily find is it goes automatically to your Facebook page, to the Toastmasters page, your Facebook's page, the Toastmasters.org. Nope, you do not have one. That's how you would know.
Okay,
When you search for your
didn't
club
know.
name, it doesn't show up.
thank you.
Yeah. It's pretty quick and pretty easy, because it depends on who set it up and which email address they used. Because with Cal speakers, I don't know who created it, but if I had to look if they logged in with their email address that they used, it should be available for them. And I talked about photos, reviews. Let's talk a little bit about reviews. How do you get reviews to show up on your business page? Suggestions? Recommendations?
You ask your members to go do it.
I love it. Yes, it starts with your members. Because every single member comes back to your club every week for a reason. This could be essentially their hashtag #MyWhy, what they liked about the club, what they like about the club, and why they keep coming back. That would be a good review. And another one would be when you have your guests show up. You can say, hey, we always look for feedback in terms of what we did. Would you mind sending us a feedback? What you need to do is send, there is a spot where you can, there's a review, it says read review here, but there's another one where you actually send them a link to the review. You just say, I'm going to send you a link to the review, follow up with them and make sure they actually post a review. My sister is a dentist and she gets a lot of amazing reviews from her patients because she asks them to post their honest feedback. And it's always good, because if you need to improve, your reviews will help you improve. If it's almost a sense of moment of truth. You obviously want higher reviews, so you are going to have better meetings, but this is a good way for you to keep track of your members. Edit products. So the products, what you can do is, if you want to, put in the paths, the different paths that are available as part of Toastmasters. You can put those in here. If you want to download some of those icons from Toastmasters International, that's fine too. Link them to directly to the Toastmasters International website. Edit services, this is what I was talking about. Public Training Center, public speaking. So if I go into public speaking, no price, it says no price, but really it is, in my club, it's $60. So it would be 30. I'm not going to split it here, but it'll essentially be $60 for 6 months. So less than a cup of coffee a day or something like that. And then leadership training, confidence building, interview skills, meeting facilitation, pretty much any service that we have as part of our pathways, that would be good to have here. I talked about booking for a little bit. This is your performance. So how are we doing as a club on Google profile? Since we haven't started yet, once we finish verifying, we can figure it out. But that's where you go and see how many people showed up, how many searches it came with, how many people contacted you, what your review were. Everything shows up under performance. And now let me go back to my slide deck. And we talked about the info, why your name matters. We talked about making sure you keep your name consistent on all platforms, because consistency equals trust. And the ranking is also based on trust. So you get to be higher based on the fact that across the different areas, you are the same. One of the most important things you will learn is whatever email address you have on your Facebook page, on your website, or wherever else it is, make sure you copy and paste the address, because again, that boils down to trust. Because with computers, the AI algorithm is a lot better. AI being artificial intelligence, algorithms are better now compared to what they were before. However, it does help to have the exact same text, because when they're doing a comparison, if they don't match up, your club might not rank as high as something else that might rank. Don't forget to put in the hours of operation, because if people show up when you're not open, again, people won't show up ever again. Make sure you update your non-meeting dates. Like I mentioned, 2nd and 4th Thursdays of the month, and enter the dates when they don't meet. I talked about the hours and off hours, the business description, how to add photos. Oh, I did not show you how to add photos, but essentially it's drag and drop or upload. It's the same thing like you do with any other program. It's pretty straightforward. And with keywords, again, you know what keywords you want to use for your club. What I like to do sometimes is I open up a word cloud. I ask members to send me 3 things they felt at the meeting. How did you feel about our meeting today? 3 words, 5 words, doesn't matter, depends on the size of the meeting, right? As they put those in chat, what I do is I create a word cloud and I make that, I make a graphic and I post it on my LinkedIn page. So you could essentially, go ahead.
When we create a free web host, we have to load the photos onto the server and then indoctrinate them into the website.
Correct.
This is a different process, right?
This is also going to the server, except it's all in the cloud. So everything it's very seamless in a way.
Okay.
But essentially the same thing, yes. So if you, when you talk about what keywords you use, how about confidence? That is something that's so basic to Toastmasters, because it is truly the voice of confidence. So if we can start using words that show up in regular lingo when our members tell us how they feel at the meeting, I think that's a great way to start incorporating them into your Google Forms. One of the most important things in terms of ranking is to make sure your data is complete. If you have incomplete data like I did with no phone number, that is a problem. Because again, how do people contact you? Yes, I have not put our email address there. I do need to put my email address, the club email address, because how do they contact us? I have turned on messaging, and I'm hoping there won't be spam, but I want to be available for our members, for our guests. If spam goes up higher, then I'm going to block the messaging, but it's a great way for us to keep it open. Make sure you keep your hours accurate, respond to reviews, add your photos, and it says add in-store products. For example, if you want to do your pats, that's a good way. Any questions? Let me look at. Don't have any questions so far.
Well, actually, I might have one.
Oh,
Kind
go
of
right ahead.
back to the beginning. To get started with the Google profile page, do we go to that site you had at the google.com/business? That's where we get started.
Yes,
that.
that's where you
the
get
first
started. Yep.
step.
I'm right
Okay.
here. And let me move it out of the way. So I'm right here. And then I sign in or manage now. So when I sign in, I could sign in as Voices of Lincoln because I'm already signed in as Voices of Lincoln. It automatically took me there. Say, for example, I open up a new incognito window and go from there. Give me one moment while it comes back up. Since I'm not signed in, if I click on sign in, it's going to take me to a brand new page, and that's where I sign in. So you still need a Gmail account, a Google account, to create this whole Google profile page. Because you can say create an account, and for my personal use, for my work or business, for my child, this would be starting from scratch. But this would be for work or business. I don't want to create another one. I could create one for my Classes Gold club, but because we meet online only, I want to do a little bit more research to set it up because we're not meeting in person. So I don't have an address to put in there. So my map won't necessarily work. However, in the past, we used to meet at the Auburn Justice Center or the Placer County, one of the buildings. So I could give one of our addresses there because that's where we meet in general. And it might still work because we are planning on going hybrid. And once we go hybrid, we'll probably still work from the same spot. So just something to keep in mind or think about.
One other question is really probably sounds silly. Is Google the same as Google Chrome?
Google Chrome is the browser. It's one of the products that Google has. So Google is a company. And when you go to, let me show you this. And there are no silly questions. All of us come from different places, so it's not a big deal. Here you go. If I go, I am signed into Google now. But if I click here on this little Google Apps right there, all these are Google apps. So for example, we have Google Maps, we have Google Search, we have Google Account, which is my club account. YouTube is also part of Google.
Really?
Google Play, yes.
Oh, I never
YouTube is
knew
part
that.
of Google. Yep. So you can use your one Gmail address that you have set up for your club to create everything, including your drive, which is a Google Drive, which means you can store all your club documents in that drive. Contacts, it's a great way for you to keep track of every single member or guest that came in. All your contacts are right here. I'm not going to click it because it has personal information in there. But it has every single person that I have contacted through my club email address. The calendar.
I go to Google Chrome and I can go to Drive.
Yep.
It does take me to our club's Google Chrome site. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Oh, yes.
And then
so it does.
from there I go to Canva. That's pretty much
Okay. So
the
this
only
is,
way I've used it. So I don't know if I'm not sure the difference between.
so Chrome is the browser. Let me show you my desktop. So this, sorry, give me one moment. Let me create a shortcut. Actually, let me do this. Give me one moment. Okay, that is Google Chrome right there, right? That's what you
Right.
open up to go to everywhere with your Canva, your Gmail, everything. That is Google Chrome. That's your basic browser. You start off, you can use Chrome, you can use Edge, you can use anything. So I use Chrome, and then from there, I'm going to pull up my previous window. So this is what shows up when it might show up like this for you, Google Chrome, right? And from there, this is where you start with everything you want to do. And when you go in here, once you're logged in to your Gmail account, you can type My Business. And once you type your My Business, if you have already created it, if you have not, it will ask you to create one for you. And then it says, get Google profile, get listed on Google. You're starting from scratch at this point. So everything that I showed you before on my step-by-step with a PowerPoint is essentially how you get started. But if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. My email address is toastmastervina@gmail.com. Let me type that in here, but it will be on your, I will make sure I send it to you all. I will be out of town for a little bit, but I'll be back in December. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I have access to my email and I can send. Go ahead, Louise. Oh, I thought you had a question. No. We still have a few minutes. Any thoughts, questions? It doesn't have to be about Google profile. It could be anything. Go ahead, Ella.
I'm gonna need your help because I'm starting from scratch to create a web page on Facebook. You know.
Oh, what I will do is let me make that a masterclass for January.
Okay.
That way it'll help everybody because I'm going to be out all of December. So let me get that started for January. I'll make that the public relations masterclass for Jan.
What I want to say also is that they've changed the way we create a Facebook presence because they only have it for businesses, just like the Google profile. You have a business profile for Facebook now.
Let me look that up and I can create documentation on how to do it. That way it'll be available for all the clubs.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. The other, I was going to say something else and I totally thrown. I know some people are looking for information on how to create a newsletter. And if time permits, I might be able to do that on another call. But essentially what you can do is there are different programs that you can use for newsletters. The one that I use for the district is Constant Contact. That costs money. However, there's another one called MailChimp. That's a free one. You can do newsletters with that. You can also create newsletters through just a Word document. If you go to toastmasters.org and search for newsletters, and this is a basic Word document. I'm not crazy about it, but if it gets the work done, gets the work done. That's a newsletter template. That's what it looks like. It looks like an agenda. I could do a lot better. So again, try and figure out what works for you. And you can just put together, you can use Microsoft Publisher or pretty much anything. Put it in you can create this and make a PDF document out of it, have pretty pictures of your club, who accomplished what. That would be a good one for you. In my club, we were very proud of our newsletters. We got $25 every single year when they sent it out saying, okay, newsletter of the year, Plaza's Gold always got it. We have so many $25 gift certificates from district that we ended up using that for our club pins. And for those of you who don't know, how many of you have created #MyWhy videos? I know Ella has. Thank you, Ella. That was a fantastic one. We got a lot of feedback on hers. She did an amazing speech. If you have not watched it, you have to go search for Ella or search for Pluses Gold, and that will be a good one. Facebook ads for business Facebook page. So what I did was, I can show you that. Let me, for those of you who don't know how to set up, do a hashtag #MyWhy. I am going, in the past newsletter, there was an article about hashtag #MyWhy. They had a whole bunch of backgrounds for Zoom. You just record about 1.5 to 2 minutes or 3 minutes of why you joined Toastmasters, why you stay in Toastmasters, and that's a great way for you to get more members in. If you send me a note saying, hey, I did my hashtag #MyWhy, I will make sure I post it on our website and everywhere else. And you might be eligible to win some money for yourself or for your club. So your choice. Money is free. Let me show you how I did the Facebook ads. That'll be a good one for, maybe I'll do it as part of the Facebook, but I'll just show it to you since you brought it up. So what I can do is, if I go to my Facebook, it looks so different here now. So if I go to my Facebook page, this is not my personal one, so I don't care. You can look at it. Pages. And I manage 3 different pages. So if I'm going to District 39 Toastmasters, that's where we have 7 minutes, so I have time. So what I did was I went to, you can do the promotion here, or you can go to the business apps. You have a whole bunch of things in here. You can create events. You can do Ad Center. And I went to the Ad Center and created some of our ads. It's a little slow. So I don't know if you recall seeing the sliders which say communication is not optional. So a whole bunch of those things, what I did was I created about 6 different ads that showed up in different people's feeds. We didn't spend too much money at all, but we got over 2,000 people, 2,000 views. Look at this. It reached 1,097 people, and we only spent $43 over a period of time, which is pretty decent. And I'll show you the ads that I used. And there was another one which we spent $5 per day, and it reached 2,585 people. Think about this. Even though it says on Facebook leads is only 18, not everybody shows up the first time they hear about Toastmasters. Which means you get the word out today, they will show up later. I had heard of Toastmasters through my husband many, many years ago. And then when an email came to me from work, that's the first time, almost 4 years later or so, that I joined Toastmasters, because I walked in. Someone mentioned it at work to me, and I walked in. Been in Toastmasters for almost 18 or 19 years. I'll never quit, hopefully, till I die. Yes, you can post a video instead of an ad. What you can do is you can create an ad here. You can make either a GIF, or you can make it like an animated GIF, or you can just have a video, and you can definitely create those. So here it was just the multiple. I can look at how many pages we had. You can create an ad. Let me just go in. It's advertise with a plan, create a new ad. You can boost your post. So I think John asked the question last time. John, since you're here, boost a post versus create an ad. What did you find out? Am I putting you on the spot? If you're still here, feel free to answer, but otherwise, we still need to touch bases later. So he asked the question, which is better, boosting a post or creating an ad, and what's the difference? Unfortunately, I got really busy and I didn't take a chance to look at it, but I will have to do that. I think. Oh, one more thing that I do, and we can talk about this at the next meeting, but what I can say for sure is every time you have a video or you post something on Facebook, what you can do is you can do it as part of a planner. So Pat, what you can do is set it up as a planner and say, okay, I want to have it go a certain day. You don't have to pay for the ads. You can still post the ads as yourself, like I do with our website, on our Facebook page. Anytime any of our club members, any of our clubs share content in general, tag Classes Gold, I will share it to our Toastmasters Facebook page. If you share it inside just the group, I cannot share it with the page, which makes it a problem. So I'll have to recreate the whole thing, and I don't have the time to do it. But if you just share it as on your profile and share it with me, I will share it to the District 39 Facebook page. So if you notice, you will see a whole bunch of members, our clubs information out there. If I keep going back and forth between places and it's a little slow, but if you go to the page itself, we have about 3 minutes. Any questions in the meantime while this is loading? Any questions on the Google profile page? Nope. It's pretty straightforward once you set it up. It's just knowing the right words to use. Okay, so here, if you notice, I have a whole bunch of them from River City Toastmasters. And thank you, Linda, for posting a bunch of them on Dixon Toastmasters and everywhere else. So either Linda or I, one of us will post everything. So make sure you tag Linda and Vina, not Vina, Classes Gold. That way we'll post it. And thank you so much, Linda, for everything you do, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do things. Here you go. Oh, wait, that showed up there. And how many of you have signed up for those of you who stayed here for this public relations masterclass, you get 1 hour of credit towards the officer training, which is fantastic. You still need to only go for 1 more, but my recommendation is go to every single one of them, because you will learn things every time you go for the trainings. There's a whole bunch of them here. And then we have, oh, wait, it was postponed. Good to know. That is good to know. You don't want people showing up and not showing up there. So if you have not received your email, there you go. How many of you are on the on the Facebook group for District 39? If you are not, my recommendation is join. And in addition to that, we have something called the Region 1 Facebook group. Join that group as well, because we have a lot of really great information that gets posted there. So, and look out for newsletters, because this one is chock full of information every single week. It goes out. We spend a lot of time getting the information out there. With that, yeah, go ahead, Ella. We have 1 minute.
Do you have to meet certain requirements to sign up for the District 39? Okay.
For the group, no. As long as we know who you are, we will approve. You just need to send in a request to approve, and we will approve it for you. We know who you are.
Okay.
Simple as that. And your club too. Let your club members know.
This is for Facebook.
Yep. And make sure you sign up for LinkedIn as well. All the links are at the bottom of the email on the newsletter. Just sign up for all those things. Maybe I'll add the links to all the social media sites on the next.
And you put the newsletter inside of our chat.
You can actually get it here. If you go in here, you can sign up. If you go to the District 39 Facebook page.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah.
I can do that.
And you can actually, it says join list, and it'll be on the top right.
Okay.
So join our email list, put your name in there, but your name is already there.
Oh, really?
I get all the members that have signed up. That's what matters. Okay. With that, I am going to be respectful of everybody's time. And thank you so much for being here and being part of the people that gets the word out about Toastmasters. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. And sometimes my emails get a little slow only because I might be in the middle of something. But what I can say for sure is, if you don't hear back from me, just ping me, and I'm happy to share whatever you need, and I can take care of everything for you. I'm kidding. I will not do your work, but I will help you get your work done. I know, darn, I said it out loud and it's recorded. But yeah, I'm happy to talk about anything you want to. And if it is something that you need, I'm going to